Hey Ringside crew, welcome to the internationally known Dudes at Ringside podcast. And now here's your host, Joe Panther III.
Hello there, wrestling fans, and welcome to another episode of the internationally known Dudes at Ringside podcast. I'm Joe Panther III, and today I'm going to add another awesome person to my wall of fame, another photographer. Oh, God, I'm wearing the wrong glasses, my eyes. So today I am having this awesome guy. Let's give a warm Dudes at Ringside welcome to Jay Vogel. Welcome, Jay.
Hey, Joe, how's it going? Thanks so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
No problem, man. Because, you guys, people think, oh, photographers are just, the hired hand that comes in and takes pictures. You guys are a very important part of, like, the Ringside crew. So, like, being a photographer, like, when did you get your start for doing in photography?
My photography background. So I've always had an interest in it, as far back as when I was a kid. I'm a big hockey fan, actually. So I used to always love looking at hockey pictures, check out the newspaper. So it was always kind of in my head. And then kind of what happened for me, I got sober about 4.5 years ago, right? And at that point, I had been dabbling with photography a little bit, but then all of a sudden I'm not drinking and now I have all this extra time on my hands. So I kind of picked up a camera, got into some wildlife photography, did some portrait work with my wife, some fun stuff like that. And then slowly started getting into the world of events photography, sports photography. I do some stuff with Sussex County Miners. And then just honestly recently started making my way into the wrestling world.
Wow. So what was like your very first picture you took ever with wrestling? Was it a difficult shot? Like, some people just take a picture, okay, just take a picture of someone jumping up and down like on a top rope. Like what was like the most difficult photo you ever had to take?
I mean, well, just right off the bat. So what happened was I went to my first event. It was for ECPW, East Coast Professional Wrestling. It was over in Boonton this past February. I had gotten there. I went in there not really knowing what to expect, where I can go, just kind of blind a little bit. And it definitely had its challenges. You really got to find the right angles, especially at that point. I wasn't beyond the barricade yet. I was pretty much in the stands. And I was just shooting from the crowd. The ropes were a big issue. I had to find the right angles. The biggest challenge, I think, especially in the indie scene as well, and I'm sure every photographer will agree, the lighting is pretty brutal in some of these places. It's definitely a big challenge. But the more you do it, the more you get out there, the better experience, and you kind of know what to expect.
Yeah. So like where you said that like these small arenas with the lighting, but like who is one of your favorite people to do a photography of? Like which wrestler, male or female?
Oh, I mean, I really love them both. In general, I mean, everyone. What I love about photography is there's so much attitude and looks and colors and design. So really, any wrestler that comes out there, they always have something cool to give you. If I had to specify one group that I really love to photograph, I think these guys are awesome. I think they're actually coming on the podcast at one point. Do you know Live Danger?
Oh yes, I love them.
These guys are when I saw them at that show. These guys came out of the out from Gorilla. They're out from the curtain, and man, these guys have like an it factor. They're awesome to see. They're awesome dudes. I finally got to meet them in person just recently at Primetime Wrestling's Battlemania event. And so I got to know them just slightly a little bit. Say hello. Did a couple portrait shots there. So that was awesome. These guys are they're pretty cool. They're gonna be the real deal, I think.
Awesome. Let's get into it. Talk about like Primetime Wrestling. Like let's talk about Brandy. Let's talk about her hubs. Like, let's talk about Primetime. Let's go.
Yeah, let's go. I mean, Primetime is they reached out to me. They're looking for someone to kind of work with them sort of exclusively. I said, absolutely. I would love to do that. What's awesome about Primetime Pro Wrestling, they have their private tapings. They have their storylines. They have a show on YouTube that comes out weekly. I don't really see that a lot with some of the indie scenes around here up in North Jersey. So I think they have something pretty unique going, and it's really awesome to be a part of.
Awesome. Like with Primetime, do they give you like leeway when you're there to like they let you stay by the ringside area and the entranceway and stuff like that around the ring?
Yeah, Dan Ram, man in charge there. He's pretty awesome. He kind of gets me free range what I need to do. I definitely have a little bit of inside scoop on some stuff, so sometimes I know what to expect, who's going where. So it's definitely it's much easier, I would say. Just knowing what's coming, kind of expecting, kind of interacting with the guys and girls a little bit more. So it's definitely a pretty fun experience overall. I definitely recommend it for any photographer who's ever looking to do some sort of tape show like that for wrestling.
Have you ever like taken a trip with your wife, or just like when you're like going to like on a trip and then you see that there's an indie show going on? Have you ever just gone to the show and just like gone to the show and like said, "Oh, I'm not supposed to be here," but you still bring your camera and take pictures?
No,
No.
not yet. But you know what? Going forward, especially now I'm getting deeper and deeper into this photography, wrestling photography. Because to be honest, like I said, I'm fairly new, I think, to the scene around here. I'm absolutely going to. There's so many different little promotions that pop up that I didn't realize were there, especially come summertime. And we have all the county fairs around here: Sussex County Fair, Middlesex County Fair down in Central Jersey. There's going to be a lot of opportunity for some live shows, so I'm always down to bring my camera because you never know when these opportunities are going to arise.
You know what's kind of funny? I live in the Poconos. I live in the Milford area, and we do go to Sussex County Fairground for like shows with me and Papa Panther. The last time, here we go. I'm talking to the camera. I'm talking to you indie promotions that are from the Jersey area. I went to one show at the Sussex County Fairgrounds. It was ISPW. It was, I don't remember the show, but I know the one and only, as you can see in the promo, Alpha Jr. He was there doing a match. I have not seen them come back to the Sussex County Fairgrounds. Is it the size of the place? Is it like where the area? Like, is it, does it not bring in fans or something?
I don't know. I feel like Sussex County doesn't have as strong of a following from what I could tell. Not too much as I would have expected. And honestly, I would have thought there'd be a lot here. A lot of open space, a lot of open room. I know even with Primetime, we're trying to work with the Sussex County Miners, possibly put on a show at some point. That would be really cool if we could do that.
Good for me.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, go Miners.
They're so close.
Exactly. Yeah. So
I can help them. You tell the big the CEO, the little panther with the red glasses. He'd love to help promote, be a manager, like help her. She can, as long as they buy me an extra pair of red glasses, if she wants to snap the glasses during a show and slap me, I'm fine.
Brandy, I think she had no problem slapping anyone.
I'll praise her. I wear her shirt. I praise her. Okay, I praise her with all she does. She'll be like, "Yes, Joe does praise me."
I love it.
Her, don't hold back on me, and she didn't. She did.
Yeah.
I'm still waiting to get my. I keep seeing there's a bill coming from her, but I don't know.
Yeah, she's all about the dollars and cents, Brandy. That's how Primetime is so successful. She keeps it in check.
She left me a note in the box. She sent me, "Bill is coming in mail." I'm like, don't say this to my parents. Tell my parents. Don't tell Papa. Don't tell the Panther family.
He doesn't need to know. Yeah.
She'll leave. She left a little smiley face with dollar symbols. I was like, she says it's coming, and I was like, oh, I hope it's more T-shirts.
It'll definitely hook you up more T-shirts. Don't worry about that.
I want to see if she can make me some of my T-shirts, like the brand that she does. That T-shirt brand. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So Ram Tough NJ, run by Mr. Dan Ram himself, one of the men behind the scenes of Primetime Pro Wrestling. He runs an awesome graphic design business. Any small business out there, wrestlers looking to market themselves, definitely reach out to him. He's going to hook you up. He's what makes everyone at Primetime look so good.
Awesome. So, like, for you, like, do you ever get like people that want to rent you out and hire you as their own personal photographer, like for weddings and parties like that before?
Yeah, sure. Absolutely. I've definitely gotten some inquiries. Weddings, to be honest with you, and I told Dan this one time because he asked me about weddings, and I said, brides scare the heck out of me. I don't know if I'm game for that. I'm much more comfortable next to these 300, 400-pound dudes in the ring than I am against this beautiful bride on their wedding day. One day I will do that. That's because it does interest me, but I definitely have my reservations about that right now. Right now, I'm just enjoying the wrestling scene. We got baseball season coming up too.
Yeah.
And also I do a lot of portrait work with some of these wrestlers too. So I'll have them come to my little in-home studio here, and I shoot a lot of those guys here and gals.
So as a kid, did you have any wrestlers that you wish that you had an opportunity to do photography for them, but they're gone, they're passed on?
I mean, yeah, any of those guys from when I was a kid. I mean, I started watching wrestling prime Attitude Era. The first match I ever saw was the I Quit Mankind Rock match.
Oh, wow. Oh.
Any of those guys from then to, like, let's say 01, 02, gosh, I would do anything for it to have with my camera in front of them right there. I'd be lucky. But honestly, I was always really attracted to kind of like the gothic looking ones. So you got, of course, Undertaker, Kane, yeah, anyone that was in the Ministry of Darkness, like all
Gangrel.
those guys. Yes, they all just really intrigued me. I thought they were so interesting and fun to look at.
Poor Minion never got the credit he deserved.
My uncle used to joke Midian was going to be the next big thing. That was always kind of our running gag. With that guy was something with his eyeball right in the corner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He never got the credit. I always thought, you know what? You know, one of the big reasons why they made him Dancing Minion, because they were trying to give him a push, and one of the other big wigs didn't like his look, his weight, and they were like, oh, they're gonna make the kids want to gain weight and stuff like that, and make them old chubby. So they didn't, and they said, oh, make him dance, because making people dance makes people not want to be so big. And I was like, oh, moo, that's not nice. Minion was,
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
It's like they're putting him on there to show people like what not to be. You know.
yeah,
Yeah, no, that's not cool. But no, Midian, he looked like I'm sure he was a good dude. I enjoyed a lot of memories watching him and Viscera together.
yeah.
Mabel, whatever you want to call him. Back in the
He
day,
really
yeah.
broke the Undertaker's bone in his face. I didn't know that.
Viscera.
Yeah, Viscera. Yeah, yeah,
I remember I read somewhere once that the reason why Undertaker wanted him in Ministry is because he did not like wrestling him, so he wanted him in there to make sure he never had to deal with him in that regard.
yeah. He broke. I thought it was just a story because remember Undertaker had that cool like mask he wore.
Mhm.
It's because of him. He really
Really?
did.
Okay, yeah,
He
yeah.
really did break his bone in his nose. I thought it was just a kayfabe, but no, that was real. That was real.
That's good they were able to work it into it somehow, at least. Undertaker's
Yeah, at least they didn't have him go on the shelf for like a while. I thought they were gonna, but
it happens, Of course, he's taking his breaks, but at least in that case, they're able to make it work.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, in closing, if there's any fans that would like to follow you on social media, how can they find you?
So they could hop on to Instagram. That's probably the easiest one, just at J Adam Photography. Also on Facebook, J Vogel, personal account. Also have a business, J Adam Photography. But definitely go for the Instagram route. That's the easiest, I'd say.
Awesome. If there's any kids that that wanted to get into they know they have good eye for a lot of shots,
Mhm.
and they wanted to get into the photography that you do, what kind of advice would you give them?
I would say reach out, find a photographer that's maybe around that you've seen. Reach out to them. In my experience, and I didn't expect this, a lot of photographers have been very welcoming and very cool. You would think maybe some of them are competitive with each other and kind of territorial, but I find everyone to be extremely nice that I've worked with or met, interacted with. People share ideas, and they try to network a little bit, and that really wowed me. Especially also one guy I know out in the baseball world, Phil Hoops. I want to give him a shout out. One of the best photographers I know. That's kind of how I got into the baseball scene a little bit too. Just reached out and kind of hooked each other up, and that's it. Just network. I think that's really comes down to, and I think everyone in the photography world is for the most part really cool.
Awesome. Jay Vogel, I want to thank you so much for coming on the podcast. If anybody wants to buy a Jay Vogel t-shirt, can they get that by you, or do they have to go to Prime Time?
If they go to Ram Tough, their site, I can always send you a link for that. I do have some gear up on there. I don't think anyone wants my gear, but I'll tell you what, hit me up for some photos. I'm much happy to work with anyone for that. But yeah, I do have some swag up on Dan's shop there.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Jay. I'm Joe Panther III. Your turn.
Jay Vogel right here.
And we will catch you in the next.